Breaking news right now. We're looking at US 1 North near Apex, a virtual parking lot right now because of a crash on US 1 North near Tryon Road. We'll let you know how to get around this backup.
And drive-by shooting. A driver is dead and a passenger seriously hurt after someone shot into their car in Durham. What we know about this investigation.
And a community in mourning. Support is pouring in after a Raleigh teacher was murdered over the weekend. How the school is helping students today as the suspect is due in court later today.
And starting off with a chilly morning, but we'll end up with a pleasant afternoon. It gets warmer from here. I'll show you why.
WRAL News at 8 starts in less than 30 seconds.
At Leith Honda in Raleigh and Auto Park Honda in Cary, we make your buying process easy. And with every new car purchase, you'll enjoy complimentary oil changes and exceptional service. It's no wonder we've earned so many 5-star reviews. You'll also get peace of mind pricing with every used vehicle, and if it's not the perfect fit, no problem. Bring it back within 3 days for an easy exchange. Visit our showroom at Auto Park Honda in Cary or Leith Honda in Raleigh. It's easier here.
Live from WRAL News headquarters in Raleigh, your number one source for local news. WRAL News, coverage you can count on.
Great to have you with us at the 8 o'clock hour here on Fox 50. I'm Ken Smith.
And I'm Laura Levine. We do have a lot of updates to get to here on your Monday morning. Yes, that Monday right after the holidays. Meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner tracking the forecast for us. Elizabeth, it's a chilly start out there.
It is. Temperatures upper 20s to low and mid 30s as you're stepping out the door. Right here at North Hills, you can see some sunshine on the buildings, but we do have some high thin clouds out there. 34 degrees is our temperature in the triangle, but our winds are light, so no wind chill. But a lot of 20s showing up. 27 in South Hill, 26 in Rocky Mount and Wilson. It's 28 in Goldsboro. We're at 35 now in Southern Pines, but it was colder there earlier. So definitely what you need heading out the door is going to be a coat or a heavy jacket, maybe hats and gloves for somebody who has to be outside for a while, and sunglasses, especially later this afternoon. We should see some bright skies. Highs will climb into the mid 50s, but that's just the start. We're going to see a much bigger warm up starting tomorrow. I'll show you why. Coming up, Ken.
Elizabeth, we're staying on top of that breaking news in the Apex area, US 1 North, in a virtual parking lot right now as a result of a crash not far from the Highway 64 interchange there in the Apex area. It's a situation where if you're coming in from Apex or all points south this morning, you might want to take the Highway 55 over to US 64 and then back onto US 1. This was up to a 1-hour delay just a little while ago. Right now it's down to 11 minutes, so things are getting a little better on US 1 North. So I'll keep an eye on that and let you know how it's going to continue to affect your morning commute. The other troubled spot is I-40 eastbound. There's a crash right near the Highway 54 exit, causing some huge delays almost all the way back to Highway 15. That will be your best bet, getting off at 15501, making your way into local routes to get around what's happening on I-40 eastbound at this hour. In terms of other routes coming into the capital city, here's what we're looking at. So that 11-minute delay, that was for a small section of US 1. But if you're getting on US 1, say from the I-540 interchange there in Southern Wake County, you're looking at a 40-minute delay, so keep that in mind. There's also a crash on highways I-87 southbound near the Smithfield Road exit, causing about a 13-minute delay. Pool Road might be your best bet, or Nightdale Boulevard or Business 64 there in the Nightdale area. You're getting ready to head into the car. Tune us in on the radio, 101.5 HD3.
Okay, Ken, thank you. Durham police are investigating a deadly drive-by shooting this morning. The shooting happened last night on Hillsborough Road at around 9 p.m. Ali Katlabar explains what we have confirmed from investigators.
And we can see that shattered glass remains on Hillsborough Road, marking where this shooting happened, which ended a man's life. This video from the WRAL Breaking News Tracker shows at least 3 bullet holes in the passenger side of this car. We saw forensics investigate it for hours. We also saw officers pull out a car seat. This is the car that Durham police say was shot at around 9 last night. Police say that another vehicle pulled up next to the car as it was driving on Hillsborough Road. Someone in that vehicle started shooting at the car. It ended up in the Wendy's parking lot. A man and woman were inside. The man died at the hospital. The woman was seriously hurt. And this morning, we're asking police if anybody has been arrested. Also, did the shooter and the people who were shot know each other? And what are the identities of the victims? We're keeping you updated. Reporting in Durham, Ali Kadlabar, WRAL News.
Well, today, the man accused of killing a Raleigh teacher is expected to make his first court appearance. Zoe Welsh was killed after police say a man broke into her home on Saturday. WRAL's Kelsey Coffey live outside the Wake County Justice Center this morning. Kelsey, there will be resources for students and staff at Ravenscroft School where she worked, and we understand that school community is devastated.
Yes, Ken, students, faculty, and staff returning to the classroom today, grappling with grief. We're just hours away from that suspect appearing here in court. Beloved Ravenscroft science teacher Zoe Welsh was killed Saturday in her home. WRAL was on the scene as officers investigated. Ryan Camacho, the man accused of breaking into Welsh's home and murdering her, has a long criminal history. Court records show he's been arrested more than 20 times. The court dismissed breaking and entering charges against Camacho in a separate case last month after a mental competency exam. Prosecutors asked to have Camacho involuntarily committed, but a judge denied the request. This all according to District Attorney Lauren Freeman. We spoke with one of Welsh's former students about her passion in the classroom.
She really cared for her students, and she definitely was one of those teachers who was passionate about the subject that she taught.
We'll have a crew here at the courthouse as Camacho makes his first court appearance, and grief counselors will be available to both students and staff today on campus. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News, live in Raleigh.
Well, today, the suspect in the 2022 mass shooting in Raleigh's Hedingham community will be back in court. Austin Thompson's hearing today is happening less than a month before his trial is set to begin. Today is a deadline to file motions in that case. Any new motions will be heard in a couple weeks. Thompson was 15 at the time, and investigators say he shot and killed 5 people, including his older brother and an off-duty Raleigh police officer. Thompson is charged with several counts of first-degree murder. He won't face the death penalty if he's convicted. Federal law prohibits capital punishment for anyone who was under 18 at the time of a crime.
Giving you a live look now at RDU this morning, where construction is getting started today at Terminal 2. This is part of the airport's $2.5 billion program called Transform RDU. Starting today, crews will start work to expand the ticketing area, checkpoint lanes, and backclaim system. This comes after the airport closed their Economy 4 parking area, making it employee only. RDU plans to add about 7,000 parking spaces to Economy 3. The airport says this project will help keep up with growth.
We just continue to have such a need for air travel and a demand for air travel here in this market, and we really have a critical need to upgrade and expand our infrastructure to keep up with that growth. So beginning in January, you'll start to see construction across the campus right here in Terminal 2.
Officials with RDU say a construction wall will be put up at the north end while work is being done. The expansion is expected to wrap up in 2032. Also happening today, new restrictions for visitors at UNC Health take effect as flu cases rise. Access is now restricted for anyone under 12 years of age. This applies to all UNC hospitals, including UNC Rex here in Raleigh. Duke Health has similar restrictions that start tomorrow. Wake Med and Cape Fear Valley Health already have restrictions in place.
And here on the WRAL Live Center, I have 2 different feeds going up right now at the same time. One outside the courthouse where deposed Venezuelan leader Nicolas Maduro and his wife are set to appear in court today. And then I had this other perspective, not too far away from where that is. But essentially, this is all sort of the follow-up after what happened over the weekend, right? The confirmed U.S. operation in which Nicolas Maduro was taken from Venezuela and brought to the United States to be held accountable for his crimes, according to President Donald Trump. But since that has all happened, there has been reaction coming from both sides of the aisle. You have Republicans that are very much in support of what happened, but Democrats worry that this could lead to a possibly escalated situation, but also the legality of this.
It remains to be seen whether the people of Venezuela are going to be better off. Donald Trump claims that he's going to run Venezuela. He's done a terrible job running the United States of America.
He's going to clear our backyard of a drug caliphate, countries run by narco-terrorist dictators who murder, rape, send drugs into our country to kill thousands of our citizens. To my Democratic friends, you should be celebrating this.
And there's many people that keep bringing up their concerns regarding Maduro's leadership and what has happened to Venezuela as a result of being under his leadership. Regardless, though, we'll be watching to see the fallout from this situation again. Nicolas Maduro set to be in court at some point this morning.
Okay, Chris, thank you. New this morning, a man is under arrest after an apparent incident at Vice President J.D. Vance's Cincinnati home. Officers and agents responded to the home overnight. They were on scene for several hours. It's not known yet exactly what happened there at the home, but video footage here shows the damage to several windows. Vice President Vance was in Cincinnati last week. He left the city yesterday afternoon, and it's unknown if anyone else was home at the time of the incident. The Secret Service says more information will likely be released later today.
How sweet it is. The Carolina Panthers are going to the playoffs. The Cats clinching the NFC South title when the Atlanta Falcons beat the New Orleans Saints Sunday. The Panthers will host the LA Rams in a wild-card round game this weekend. It's a rematch from November when the Panthers upset the Rams at Bank of America Stadium. It's going to be quite a time in Charlotte. That matchup is set for 4:30 Saturday. You can watch it right here on Fox 50. In other NFC playoff games, the Packers will play the Bears Saturday night, and the 49ers will play the Eagles on Sunday. Again, you can see that matchup right here on Fox 50. The Seahawks have a first-round bye.
The Pittsburgh Steelers are going to playoffs in the AFC. Baltimore Ravens kicker Tyler Loop missed a field goal in the final seconds of last night's AFC North deciding game. The Steelers escaped with a 26-24 win. The Ravens will not make the playoffs. In the AFC playoffs, the Bills will play the Jaguars on Sunday afternoon. Sunday night on WRAL, the Patriots will host the Chargers. And next Monday night, the Texans will play the Steelers. The Broncos have a first-round bye.
Oh, man, you feel for that Ravens kicker. Last day in office, coming up on 8/11 right now. Marjorie Taylor Greene stepping down from Capitol Hill today. The busy agenda that's ahead for Congress after she leaves.
And close call, more than a dozen people taken to the hospital after a bus drives off an overpass. What one witness saw just before that crash.
And planning to head out the door. It's cold out there, upper 20s to low 30s right now, but we're close to 50 degrees by lunchtime. It will be in the mid 50s this afternoon. Today is the transition day. Tomorrow, much warmer, and I'll show you why coming up. 8:15 with a live look at Apex. Definitely some cloud cover. We're seeing more of that in our western counties. So the farther west you are, the more cloud cover we're seeing. But those clouds should break up as we get a little bit closer to lunchtime. No rain out of those clouds, even though it does look a bit gray from the Triangle area westward. It's 30 in Roxborough, 32 in Holly Springs, 31 in Cary, Garner, and Goldsboro right now. Still the 20s in Rocky Mount. This is a look at Futurecast, and you can see some of those clouds kind of creeping in closer to the Triangle area. But again, once we get to lunchtime, much of that should break up. We're going to see a flow coming out of the south, and that eventually will warm things up. It won't be as cold for tomorrow morning, and it'll be much warmer tomorrow afternoon. If you're looking for some exercise this afternoon, temperatures will be in the mid 50s, but we have a huge warm up past that. Over the last couple of nights, you might have noticed a halo around the moon. Meteorologist Chris Michaels coming up in just a few minutes to talk about why. Ken?
All right, happening now in the WRAL Traffic Center. Things are beginning to ease up just a little bit on US 1 North, right there in Apex. Man, this was a parking lot about an hour ago because of a crash that's probably off to the shoulder of the road in the clearing phase right now. So right now, you're just looking at a 16-minute delay coming in between Highway 64 and Highway 55 this morning on US 1 North. So if you're in a rush this morning, you might want to take 55 to 64 and then whack on to Highway US 1. The other troubled spot, I-87, you're looking at a 17-minute delay because of a crash right there near the Smithfield Road exit.
Okay, Ken, thank you. This morning, we're giving you a live look over Capitol Hill as lawmakers prepare to return today. Congress is expected to take up a vote this week on extending subsidies from the Affordable Care Act. And lawmakers also have until the end of the month to pass a spending bill and avoid a government shutdown. Today is also Marjorie Taylor Greene's last day as a member of Congress. Greene announced her resignation back in November. She previously had been one of President Trump's most vocal supporters in Congress. In recent months, she broke with him on the release of Jeffrey Epstein files and extending Affordable Care Act subsidies. A new microtransit system becomes active today in Fuquay-Varina. Microtransit systems give on-demand rides to people within a designated area. The service will run every day except Sunday. It'll be free for the first month. Some service spots include Wake Tech, Downtown, and Rex Holly Springs Hospital. The town of Holly Springs will also launch a microtransit service today. It's called the Holly Springs Hopper. It'll offer door-to-door rides anywhere within the service area up to 7 miles. A launch ceremony is planned for 9 a.m.
Well, a man charged with kidnapping a 7-year-old child in downtown Wilmington is expected to appear in court today. New Hanover County deputies arresting 44-year-old Daniel Summers. He's accused of kidnapping the child Friday afternoon. Summers faces charges of second-degree kidnapping, assault on a child under the age of 12, and resisting a public officer.
Authorities in Houston are investigating after a city bus fell off an overpass over the weekend here. This is video that you're looking at of the bus laying on the side of an embankment there after it was rear-ended while crossing the overpass. More than a dozen people on the bus had to be taken to the hospital. Thankfully, none of the injuries are life-threatening. The driver of the other car was taken to the hospital with critical injuries.
So you may have seen a ring around the moon last night, and you may be wondering, how does it form? And does that mean rain or snow is on the way? Well, let's get to our resident meteorologist, Chris Michaels, answering those questions in today's Ask the Meteorologist. Hey, Chris.
Yeah, I appreciate that promotion, Ken. Yeah, we've got that halo around the moon from last night in Garner. Thanks to Latrice Sutton for a great picture there. But here's what causes that to happen. You've got these high-level clouds with ice crystals in them. And so as the moonlight passes through those crystals, it bends or refracts at a 22-degree angle relative to us. So from our perspective, at that angle, it looks like a halo around the moon. This can be a sign of cold cloud tops from storms in the distance. Usually precedes a storm system, but not all the time. Right in this case, a lot of that moisture was actually coming out of the Pacific, and it wasn't a storm system that was anywhere near our area, but we were just drawing in the moisture from thousands of miles away. Interestingly enough, winter storm warning on Mauna Kea and Mauna Loa in Hawaii. So yes, they're getting snow, but we are not. Keep in mind that we still have quite a bit of winter left to go. We'll look at the odds of seeing any wintry weather on WRAL.com right now.
Yeah, we still have a whole lot of winter left. Thank you, Chris. Well, parts of California are under a flood advisory this morning as king tides reach record levels in San Francisco. High tide was recorded at more than 2.5 feet above normal, the 4th highest on record. Other parts of the Bay Area are also seeing flooding. Floodwaters in Sausalito have forced evacuations. 5 northern counties in California are under a flood advisory as more rain is expected today. And as we are seeing some of the impact with that weather moving across the Bay Area, we also know that it's moving in other parts of the country. But back home here, we are seeing dry conditions, but also very chilly conditions. Meteorologist Elizabeth Garner with a look at the temps in the 30s today.
It's a cold start out there. Temperatures have started in the upper 20s to low and mid 30s. We're seeing some sunshine in places. You can definitely tell there's some sunshine creating this pretty glow on the buildings in North Hills, but you can also see some cloud cover there. The farther west you go, the more clouds we're seeing this morning. Most of that is in the western part of the state, but it's starting to creep into some of our counties. Right now, it's 34 degrees in the Triangle with light wind, so we haven't had any wind chill to deal with. This high pressure system has helped to draw down some colder air over the last several days. So this high pressure system rotating clockwise again has brought us that northerly wind. As it slides out into the Atlantic, that flow reverses first to southeasterly and then southerly, and that really helps to warm things up over the next couple of days. So you can take a look here at our weather maker. We've got several warm days in our forecast. It's really starting for tomorrow. It stays dry all the way up until Saturday, and then we'll start to see a better chance for rain. We do have spring-like conditions really starting tomorrow all the way through Friday and into Saturday. We'll have a cold front that approaches and moves through on Saturday, and along that front we could have some stormy conditions. We don't often see storms in, say, the winter months, December, January, February, but it definitely happens sometimes when we get into these warm flows and then the cold front comes through and brings a lot colder air. The clash of those two air masses can create some scattered thunderstorms. Behind it, it turns colder. We're not going to see bitterly cold temperatures behind this front, but we'll definitely cool things down. Our best chance of rain this week is going to be Saturday. Sunday, if you're looking to get outside and get some work done in the yard or do some exercise, Sunday definitely looks like the drier day, at least for now. And as we get closer to Saturday, we'll be fine-tuning the timeline, so keep checking back. Not a whole lot of rain for us. We're looking at maybe 1/10 of an inch or so, and boy, do we need some rain. It's been a very dry fall and winter, and the last 30 days we've seen anywhere from about 30 to 50% of our normal rainfall. So definitely need some more of that rain. Saturday's really going to be the only day. But if we're going to enjoy something, it'll definitely be the temperatures as we climb into the 70s, Ken.
All right, Elizabeth, happening now in the WRAL Traffic Center, things are beginning to ease up just a little bit on US 1 North in the Apex area. This crash that was happening there, probably off to the shoulder of the road right now, because it was a parking lot a little while ago. So right now, you're just looking at a 4-minute delay between Highway 55 and Highway 64 this morning. So really nothing that's going to make you late. So keep that in mind as you're about to head out. The other troubled spot we're looking at is this crash on the Beltline, that northern loop of the Beltline near the Wake Forest Road exit. We're seeing a little bit of a slowdown. So keep that in mind as you're about to head out, and that's part of your morning commute. The southern loop of the Beltline is no better either. You're looking at maybe a 3 to 5 minute delay as well.
Thank you. Here's a look at what's ahead. Humidifier safety. 5 on your side shares what you need to know with cold and flu season in full swing. And winter headaches. The cold can affect your health in multiple ways. What experts say people who suffer from migraine should.
As you get into your car, tune to WRAL News Plus on your radio. In Raleigh on 99.3 FM. In Durham 96.5 FM. And everywhere on 101.5 HD3.
Good morning. The time is 8:26. I'm Laura Levine. Let's bring in meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner with a look at the forecast.
And we're taking a look at some cloud cover. You can see that in Apex. Really, everybody from the Triangle area westward seeing some clouds this morning. Those should begin to dissipate as we get through the afternoon with some sunshine. Still pretty chilly out there. Some temperatures near freezing. 32 in Holly Springs and in Roxborough. 32 in Cary, and still 26 in Rocky Mount and Wilson. So coats on as you're heading out the door this morning. But later on today, maybe just some sweaters with temperatures in the mid-50s. Big warm-up begins tomorrow, Ken.
All right, happening now in the WRAL Traffic Center. Boy, things definitely easing up on US 1 North. This is a look at US 1 North and Highway 55. Traffic is at least moving because about an hour and a half ago, man, that was a parking lot. So right now, you're just looking at a 5-minute delay coming in from Apex, going all the way back to NC 540. 5-minute delay, not bad. The other troubled spot, there was a crash on I-87 southbound near the Smithfield Road exit. That's off to the shoulder of the road. Right now, you're just looking at a 10-minute delay coming in on the I-87. I have another update at the bottom of the hour over on Fox 50.
One person is dead and another person is seriously injured after a drive-by shooting in Durham. This happened last night on Hillsborough Road. Police say a driver pulled up along another car and someone started shooting. We're trying to learn more about the victims and if any arrests have been made. New restrictions for visitors at UNC Health take effect as flu cases rise. Access is now restricted for anyone under 12 years of age. This applies to all UNC hospitals, including UNC Rex in Raleigh. Duke Health has similar restrictions that begin tomorrow. Next on Fox 50, a community in Raleigh is mourning after a teacher was murdered over the weekend. And coming up on Today, NBC celebrates 100 years.
Shot in 4K ultra high definition. Your number one source for local news. WRAL News. Coverage you can count on.
Drive-by shooting. Police investigating more than 8 hours later after Hillsborough Road in Durham. What we know about the victims and the police investigation.
Plus, Raleigh teacher murdered.
He shouldn't have been out there. Why wasn't something done? Because this could have been prevented.
Today, students at Ravenscroft School will have grief counselors available. Why the teacher's longtime friend says her accused killer shouldn't have been on the streets.
And our temperatures this afternoon will climb up into the mid to upper 50s in some places, but a bigger warm up is on the way starting tomorrow. I'll walk you through it.
Thanks for joining us here on Fox 50. I'm Laura Levine, starting off the day nice and cool.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm Ken Smith. Let's go ahead and get right back to meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner tracking this. What's shaping up to be a rather nice day?
We're going to see a nice day. Temperatures will climb into the mid-50s, which is close to normal for this time of year. And we should see increasing sunshine. We have had some cloud cover move into the Triangle area from the west. A lot of that overnight last night in the Triad. And you can see a little bit of blue sky trying to break out right here in our backyard, right behind our tower. And you'll see a mix of sun and clouds. Again, more sunshine in the east, a little bit more cloud cover in the west. It's 34 in the Triangle area right now, but some cold temperatures linger in places. 29 in Goldsboro, 26 Rocky Mount, 29 South Hill, and 32 in Roxborough. So you could still see some patchy frost on your car windshields and on the grass this morning, depending on where you are. So walking out the door, I definitely grabbed my big thick coat this morning. I didn't grab the hat and gloves just because I wasn't going to be outside for long, but the sunglasses, especially this afternoon as those clouds start to break up. Temperatures will be in the mid 50s, but I'll show you what begins a big warm up for us tomorrow. Coming up, Ken.
All right, Elizabeth, happening now in the WRAL Traffic Center. That's a good reminder, particularly those of you on those eastbound routes. Watch the sun glare delay because it's going to be a bright sunny day, as Elizabeth just mentioned. A couple things I want to bring your attention to. This crash on the northern loop of the Beltline near the Wake Forest Road exit. We're seeing a little bit of a slowdown, but it stands to reason that's probably off to the side of the road, not causing any major problems for you this morning. Where things are definitely getting better on US 1, that northbound lane. This is right near the Highway 55 exit, but there was a crash near the Highway 64 interchange that was causing quite a bit of a backup. But boy, things have definitely gotten a lot better in the last half hour or so, because right now you're looking at just a 6-minute delay. An hour and a half or so, that was up to more than an hour's delay. So things definitely improving there in the Apex area on US 1. Things are getting a little better on I-87 in those southbound lanes. They're probably still working a crash near the Smithfield Road exit, probably off to the side of the road, but you're still looking at a 16-minute delay. So if you're in a rush this morning, you might want to get off on Smithfield Road, work your way over to Pool Road, and then back onto the Beltline. You're getting ready to head into the car. Tune us in on the radio, 101.5 HD3.
Okay, Ken, thank you. Investigators are working to learn what led up to this drive-by shooting in Durham. This is video of that scene from last night on Hillsborough Road. The car that was shot was towed away just before 6 o'clock this morning. Ali Katlabar is there in the WRAL breaking news tracker, and we know that these shots were fired from a moving car into another.
And we can see that shattered glass remains on Hillsborough Road, marking where this shooting happened, which ended a man's life. This video from the WRAL breaking news tracker shows at least 3 bullet holes in the passenger side of this car. We saw forensics investigate it for hours. We also saw officers pull out a car seat. This is the car that Durham police say was shot at around 9 last night. Police say that another vehicle pulled up next to the car as it was driving on Hillsborough Road. Someone in that vehicle started shooting at the car. It ended up in the Wendy's parking lot. A man and woman were inside. The man died at the hospital. The woman was seriously hurt. And this morning, we're asking police if anybody has been arrested. Also, did the shooter and the people who were shot know each other? And what are the identities of the victims? We're keeping you updated. Reporting in Durham, Ali Katlabar, WRAL News.
Well, today, the man accused of killing this Ravenscroft teacher, Zoe Walsh, will face a judge. She was attacked and killed in her home Saturday. She later died. Ryan Camacho, this man right here, he is accused of breaking into Walsh's house during a burglary attempt, then killing her. WRAL's Kelsey Coffey is at the Wake County Justice Center, where Camacho will be during court later today.
Students, faculty, and staff are returning to the classroom today, grappling with their grief, and the suspect is scheduled to appear here in court at 1:30. Beloved Ravenscroft science teacher Zoe Welsh was killed Saturday in her home. WRAL was on the scene as officers investigated. Ryan Camacho, the man accused of breaking into Welsh's home and murdering her, has a long criminal history. Court records show he's been arrested more than 20 times. The court dismissed breaking and entering charges against Camacho in a separate case last month after a mental competency exam. Prosecutors asked to have Camacho involuntarily committed, but a judge denied the request. This all according to District Attorney Lauren Freeman. We shared that information with Welsh's longtime friend, Lisa Ginger.
He shouldn't have been out there. It's like, I remember growing up in the world of 3 strikes you're out, and this is not that.
We'll have a crew here in court while Camacho makes his first appearance, and grief counselors will be available to support students and staff on campus today. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News in Raleigh.
This morning, President Trump says the U.S. is now in charge of Venezuela after a military operation ousted President Nicolas Maduro. This is video that you're looking at of Maduro and his wife heading into a chopper about an hour ago on their way to New York City courtroom there for their arraignment today. Now, both are charged in the U.S. with narco-terrorism conspiracy, cocaine importation conspiracy, and weapons of offenses. President Trump says acting Venezuelan President Delcy Rodriguez is cooperating, but she has been threatened with the same fate as Maduro if that changes. Trump also says the U.S. will take back American oil facilities that Venezuela nationalized. The United Nations Secretary Council is holding an emergency meeting today to discuss if any international laws were broken.
Well, Laura, President Trump's military operation in Venezuela caused a mess for travelers nationwide. Hundreds of flights to and from the Caribbean were canceled after the FAA shut down the airspace in that region. The airspace reopened Sunday morning. Now, even with flights back up and running, travelers say airlines are having to play catch up. One family of five says they're stuck there after their flight home to Philly yesterday got canceled in Puerto Rico, by the way. The earliest flight they could get, Friday.
The five of us are together. We're safe. We are currently in a location. It's beautiful. Those things are all wonderful. We just really want to get home before Friday.
It's nice to vacation, but it's always so nice to get home. Several major airlines are working to add additional flights. American Airlines adding nearly 1,000 of its flights for the region on top of resuming its scheduled service.
Well, coming up in 30 minutes, we'll hear reactions from lawmakers as the president is expected to brief select members of Congress on this operation. You can follow the latest on the situation in Venezuela and Nicolas Maduro's appearance on our website, WRAL.com, the WRAL News app, and WRAL News Plus. Also, be sure to tune in to WRAL on the air. We'll have updates throughout the day on our new newscast and during our evening newscast starting at 4 p.m.
Well, heads up, travelers, prepare to see construction at RD International, where you're looking live right now. Today, teams are starting the work on Terminal 2 expansion project, and that's Terminal 2 right there. The expansion is part of a multi-billion-dollar project called Transform RDU. The runway will be extended to move further from the terminal. The airport says this will allow for more expansions in the future. The executive director of the Regional Transportation Alliance says the project will not be finished until 2032, but you'll start to see changes before then.
You're going to start having bridges that'll make it easy to go from Terminal 1 into the airport or Terminal 2. You're no longer going to be competing in the same traffic flows. That's going to be great. The airport's going to be longer, or the airport runway, I should say, is going to be longer.
All right, airport management says the changes will allow for a larger ticketing area, an upgraded baggage claim system, and expanded international arrival space, among other changes.
Happening today, new restrictions for visitors at UNC Health take effect as flu cases rise. Access is now being restricted for anyone under 12 years of age. This applies to all UNC hospitals, including UNC Rex in Raleigh. Duke Health has similar restrictions that start tomorrow. Wake Med and Cape Fear Valley Health already have restrictions in place. The Carolina Panthers are going to the playoffs. They clinched the NFC South when the Atlanta Falcons beat the New Orleans Saints yesterday. The Panthers will host the LA Rams in a wild card round game. It's a rematch from November when the Panthers upset the Rams at Bank of America Stadium. And their matchup will be at 4:30 on Saturday. You can watch it on Fox 50. In other NFC playoff games, the Packers will play the Bears on Saturday night, and the 49ers will play the Eagles on Sunday on Fox 50. The Seahawks have a first-round bye.
Charlotte will be buzzing with excitement all week. Now, in the AFC playoffs, the Bills will play the Jaguars Sunday afternoon. Sunday night on WRAL, the Patriots host the Chargers. And next Monday night, the Texans will play the Steelers. The Broncos have a first-round bye. Well, keeping your humidifier safe, coming up at 8:40 now. 5 on your side, sharing what you need to know with cold and flu season in full swing.
Plus, cold triggers. Winter weather can do more than chill the air. It may affect your health in unexpected ways. What experts say migraine sufferers should know before heading out.
And speaking of the cold, we're starting off near freezing this morning. There's a live look at Goldsboro ahead. Meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner will explain what's behind this temperature swing and when we'll be back in the 70s in January, people. My goodness.
844, taking a live look at Sanford right now. Good bit of cloud cover. Really, the farther west you go from the Triangle area westward, we're dealing with some cloud cover right now, but those clouds should break up a little closer to lunchtime. It's been a cold start out there this morning, really for everybody. 33 Holly Springs, 32 in Roxborough, 31 in Goldsboro, and still 26 in Wilson and Rocky Mount. If you're headed out for a walk this morning, obviously you want to bundle up, but later this afternoon, a sweatshirt should be fine with temperatures in the mid-50s. We have some nice weather in our forecast for the next several days. A nice big warm up. I'll show you why. Coming up, Ken.
Elizabeth, happening now with the WRAL Traffic Center. Some good news and bad news. Let's start with the good news. US 1 completely free of any delays right now. That crash is completely cleared. Now the bad news. You're coming in from I-87 right now. There's a crash right near the Smithfield Road exit. You're looking at a 20-minute delay. So if you're coming in from Wendell, you're coming in from Zebulon or All Points East, you might want to take Highway 64 and Knightdale Boulevard as an alternate route to avoid I-87 at the moment. I'll have another update coming up at the top of the hour over on Fox 50.
Ken, thank you. Fayetteville police say 2 brothers were killed in a shooting at a restaurant over the weekend. The shooting happened just before 7 p.m. Saturday at the Max Speed Shop on North McPherson Church Road. Police identified the victims as 43-year-old Timothy Nakamoto and 45-year-old Daniel Nakamoto. According to police, an argument escalated into a fight inside the restaurant, leading to the shooting. There's no word yet on any arrests. The Highway Patrol identified a man who died in a crash in Harnett County. Troopers say the car ran through a stop sign on Nursery Road and Overhills Road at about 2:15 a.m. Saturday. It went off the road and hit a sign. The car then hit a tree and caught fire. 22-year-old Tristan Pippins died. Troopers say speeding was a factor. A humidifier can be very helpful when there's dry winter air plus cold and flu season. However, humidifiers can become contaminated with bacteria and other germs if not maintained properly. 5 on your sides, Ashley Rowe has some helpful advice for doing that the right way.
To keep your humidifier clean, always follow the manufacturer's instructions, which typically include daily and weekly maintenance. Most will suggest you rinse and then towel dry the tank and fill it with clean water every day. And then give your humidifier a deep cleaning with distilled vinegar every week. And be sure to replace the filter or wick according to the owner's manual.
We've been testing humidifiers for decades. Some are way easier to clean than others, which is very important because you'll have to maintain that humidifier regularly throughout the season.
Ideally, you want a relative humidity between 30 and 50% inside your home. To help it work best, position your humidifier on a flat surface raised at least 2 feet above the floor. This allows for more moisture to dissipate into the air. CR recommends this Vicks model for smaller rooms and for larger spaces, this Honeywell. And if you have kids or pets at home, Consumer Reports strongly advises choosing a cool mist humidifier. That stays cool to the touch, unlike warm mist models that can pose a burn risk. Ashley Rowe, 5 on your side.
All right, why announcer Joe Buck is thanking his makeup team.
Yeah, and the Carolina Panthers are celebrating after making the playoffs. Of course, those 2 stories. What's trending this morning? So let's start with the Carolina Panthers making the playoffs, getting plenty of reaction coming in, including from the team's mascot, Sir Purr. The Big Cat celebrating by donning a large NFC South Championship hat. Former players are also congratulating the team, including former running back Jonathan Stewart and defensive lineman F.A. Obata. How about that?
All right. Well, this will be the team's first playoff appearance since 2017.
Yes.
So you can imagine there's a lot of excitement there.
Big time. So football announcer Joe Buck revealing he had to gut out an injury of his own this weekend. He says he got a black eye while trying to bake up a fight between his 7-year-old twin sons. This happened just days before he called the Seattle 49ers game over the weekend. Of course, he thanked his makeup team for concealing that bruise.
Here in the WRAL Live Center, getting some updates there from the Atlanta Falcons. So yesterday, we know that they fired Coach Raheem Morris and GM Terry Fontenot despite a win over the Saints there. But it looks like their CEO will be moving to a different position as well, shifting to AMBSE initiatives there. And it's quite a significant amount of change up for the team. This is right here, a letter from the owner and the chairman for the team. It's very, very, very long, but essentially goes over what I was talking about. Essentially talking about what is next for that franchise. It'll be significant to see what this will mean for the team come next season. But yes, a lot of changes that are happening with the Atlanta Falcons.
Something to follow for sure. Thank you, Chris. Well, here in the WRAL weather system right now, we are tracking some conditions. As the colder weather sets in, it can impact our bodies in more ways than we think. Cleveland Clinic says extreme cold temperatures this time of year can bring on a migraine for some people. And for those sensitive to the cold, staying inside on frigid days can help. If you do need to go outside, make sure to bundle up and cover your head and neck. Also, it's important to have your migraine medications on hand in case you start getting symptoms. While we can't control the weather, there are other things migraine sufferers can control.
Sleep, exercise are very important, reducing stress, managing any psychiatric comorbidities like anxiety or depression. It's also very important.
Migraines continue to be a problem and affect your daily life. It's time to talk to your doctor. They can help you find the right treatment to manage your symptoms. And unfortunately, I am one of those people, Elizabeth, who certainly have to take those extra precautions during the winter time.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, but with these colder, drier conditions, we're also tracking our next weather maker.
Yes, and that one's going to bring us some warmth starting tomorrow. We're going to have a nice switch in our wind direction. It's going to bring us temperatures in the 60s and 70s for the next several days. Not today, but starting tomorrow. Then we're going to get into the weekend with a chance of showers. That looks like Saturday for the most part. Keep checking back as we start to get more information in as we get closer to Saturday. We'll be able to really fine tune the timing of that for you. And then behind that, it may be a bit cooler on Sunday, but we're not talking about a huge drop in our temperature. Right now, we've got 60 degrees in the forecast for Sunday. Taking a look outside, currently, we do have more cloud cover. We had some clouds develop over the triad. That has shifted eastward. Our far eastern counties are nice and clear right now, but you can definitely see right here in our backyard at the tower here on Western Boulevard, we are cloudy. 34 is our temperature, but we should by lunchtime into the afternoon see those clouds breaking up and highs will climb into the mid 50s, which will feel very much like what we saw yesterday. Still pretty chilly out there. We're starting to climb above freezing in some places, but it's still 30 in Chapel Hill, Durham, and Rollsville. It's 29 in Wake Forest. It's 33 in Knightdale, Garner, and Clayton. So cold start out there with those cloudy skies. Later this afternoon with some sunshine, we should warm into the mid 50s in Raleigh and Durham, and around 61 in Fayetteville. The reverse of our wind to southerly will really help to warm things up, and overnight tonight it won't be nearly as cold. You'll still probably want a jacket. And then in the afternoon, about 10 degrees warmer than yesterday. High pressure is shifting our winds. As high pressure slides eastward, our wind begins to come out of the south, and we're going to see a warm front that's up to our north. So we're in what we call the warm sector of actually two different systems coming through. That cold front on Wednesday stays to our north, and we stay in this nice warm air mass. So we're 69 on Wednesday, 66 Thursday, and then on Friday we could push it all the way to 71. We could see 70s again on Saturday. But we do see this front coming through, and that will bring us a chance of some rain on Saturday, but it won't be that chilly kind of miserable rain that we saw this past Saturday. 60s tomorrow, Wednesday and Thursday, and then 70s Friday and Saturday. And check out those morning lows. Tomorrow morning 41, but after that we're in the mid 40s to mid to upper 50s for morning lows. So put away those heavy coats for a little while. A lot of the country is going to see this big, very warm air mass coming through. But again, it won't stick around forever. We will see it starting to slide on out by the end of the weekend, as we'll see a high on Sunday around 60 degrees. That chance of rain on Saturday right now looks like 40%. It doesn't look like we're going to see a whole lot of rain. We could definitely use some. It's probably going to be a tenth of an inch or less, but hopefully we'll see some changes in that coming up the week after.
Okay, Elizabeth, thank you. Before we go to break, here are the winning North Carolina Education Lottery numbers. We'll get another check on weather and traffic after the break.